Hello, and welcome to this video presentation. My name is Paul Brett. I'm a Senior Software Support Analyst supporting the Transformation Extender product from IBM. The topic for today's video is using certificates with the ITX SFTP adapter. Feel free to reach out to me on popular social media channels at Paul Brett IBM. In today's practical session, I will show you how to generate a private and public key file pair using the PuTTY program. I will then show you how to copy the required parts of the public file to the remote server. Then we'll use the private and public key file pair in a put to the SFTP adapter in an output card of an ITX map. For the first part of today's practical demonstration, we're going to use the PuTTY program from the PuTTY installation directory. I'm going to open the PuTTY installation directory now and execute the PuTTY program. From within the program, I click the Generate button, then move the mouse around in the blank area to generate some random data. Now that the public and private key have been generated, I need to save those. I'm going to save the public key first in my project directory as rsa-key.pub. Then I'm going to save the private key. It's going to warn me that I haven't set a passphrase. That's fine for my installation, but I recommend that you set one. I'm going to save this as rsa-key.ppk. And the last thing I'm going to do is copy the public key ready to be pasted into the authorized key file on my remote system. Just put that to one side for the moment. I'm going to connect to my remote system now with PuTTY again. I'm going to connect as the user Paul at box. Now that I've connected, you will note that I have no file called file.txt in my root folder. This is the file we will be creating later with the map. For now, I'm just going to show that there is a hidden folder called .ssh, and I'm going to change to that folder now. And within this folder, there is a file called authorized keys. I'm going to edit that file and paste in the string from my clipboard. I'm going to save that file, and for now I can leave that window open but back at the parent directory ready to check for when the file turns up after we run our map. On screen you will see that I have the project window open where I have the two files that I just created, RSA key, ppk and pub, as well as a generic type tree for my project. In the Design Studio, I have the project defined, and if we expand the miscellaneous section, you will note that the project shows the two files and the type tree section shows the generic.mtt file. The next step is to create the map source file itself. So let's do that now. Map source. I'm going to put it in that project and call it test.mms. The map source file is currently empty, so let's create a map called test1. And within test1, let's create an output card called out. The type tree I'm going to use for this card is generic, and the object within it I'm going to use is text item. The target for the card is going to be the SFTP adapter. I'm going to paste the connection command from my clipboard and then go through the individual elements. So for starters, we have the user that I'm going to be connecting to the remote machine as, which is Paul. The remote machine name, which is box, and the port number, all specified with -USR, -host and -port. The next option, -PA, can take one of two values. It can take either public key, which is what we are using, or it can take password. If you're going to use the password option, you also need to use the -PWD option and actually specify your password on the adapter command line, but that's not what we're doing today. So we have -PA public key, which means we have the two additional flags PRKFP and PBKFP. These two specify the private and public key file pairs. You will note that I have put the full path to those files. The next option, -P, specifies the name of the remote file we will be accessing, /home/pool/file.txt. I'm quickly going to switch back to my PuTTY session here and just show you that we are in the /home/pool subdirectory, and that file does not currently exist. So let's move that to one side for the moment and carry on. The next flag is the write mode. I've chosen overwrite as it will overwrite the file if it exists, but it will create it if it doesn't. The final option is -TV to turn on verbose adapter tracing. So next we need to put in a rule. So I'm going to put in some fixed data. This is my data string. And now I'm at a place where I can save, build and run this map. Save, build and run. The map has completed successfully. If we look in our project directory, the m4sftp.mtr adapter trace has been written. And if we look on our remote server, you will note that the file.txt has arrived. If we look at the content of that file, we have "this is my data string." So there we have it. This is how to generate a private and public key file pair and then use those files with the SFTP adapter in the ITX product to transfer files to remote SSH servers. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video presentation today. If you found the content interesting and informative, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel as I release content such as this on a regular basis. Feel free to reach out to me on popular social media channels at Paul Brett IBM. Thank you.